So it's part 20, and she's in the car with Legion, and he just gets on the phone with Willie. Are you up there right now? You're not? He said we can't get in the building because it's on the weekend lock. Not a lock for the weekday. It's the weekend lock. It's built to keep your wife away. My eyes are so cool that I think you're a weekend lock kind of fool. I can't, but I must. This story is, it's addictive. Part 21, the company car, a charcoal gray Beamer. What is the point of a company car if you can't drive it home? So he would drop his car off in Midtown and drive the Beamer to Duluth. So now she's pissed that she's given up Ultimer ass and she feels like she's got some Beamer butt. So she told him to stop teasing her with the company car because she's tired of his broken promises. Got me out here looking at houses. But we coming home to apartments. I just want a rich man, please. No, he's not the one. He fooled you again. Oh, he won't buy that house. He won't, no he won't. But he paid your rent, so be glad. So at this point, she's numb to the lies. Oh, now she wants to go to London and Paris. So he gives her a trip itinerary for her birthday, but not an actual book trip, of course. And this is for July. And he says, I'm going to take you to London. Girl, I mean, he's taking you across the street, but mostly that street was of broken dreams. Or is that a boulevard? He said we're staying at the boutique hotel, the Savoy, in Mayfair. So they both got to renew their passports for this trip. This idiot really said she went to work and printed out the passport applications. You thought you was going somewhere. Well, fortunately, you did a GoFundMe and got yourself a trip. Speaking of which, if anybody wants to hit up my donate for all this extra work, feel free. StreamYard don't pay for itself. But then something happened and they didn't fill out the application. Mid-March, her mama come to visit. So part 22. I wonder if we'll be able to finish this before Traders. It's 8:12 in the morning and I've got my coffee. I am ready. So then she goes through his phone because she sees a text, but it turned out it was from his aunt, not his ex. But then she checks his Facebook Messenger. So she goes into these messages and he's talking about going to get the cat and somebody talking about giving up the cat. And she's like, you all holy roller with me. We don't get down like that in the boudoir. She confronted him. Won't confront him about that house though. He said, well, I don't even know her. I was just playing around. It didn't mean anything. Like your love or your marriage. Meaningless. Oh, Lord, now she talking about all the men she done turned down to be faithful. You had other men that were trying to get with you. You could have gotten out of this nonsense and maybe with a man that didn't consistently lie. You had other options after your 8th house fell through. You're a fool. So she says we need therapy. She said she was disappointed he sent pictures because she don't like men that send pictures. You don't know this man. You've been with him for 15 minutes and all you've done is try to get a free house. Why would you think he was faithful? So they were going to put on a united front for the mama's visit, not talk about the chitete. So she was over him at this point because he wasn't sharing his fetishes with her. She said, I went to FAMU. I know what to do. She asked her aunt for advice. She said, I don't know what to tell you. You married him. You made that bed, now you gotta lie. Part 23, they've agreed to do marriage counseling. Oh, so the pastors that they saw said, we don't see any intimacy in your little 3-month marriage. What have I been saying for the past 2 parts? I'm not hearing love, I'm hearing money. I'm not hearing about, oh, we used to, go on walks or share a pizza. They talk about the Facebook thing, and he says, look, you ain't gonna keep beating me up. I didn't apologize. Either you gonna forgive me or not. And the pastors are like, telling. Oh, God. So a few days after the first counseling session, he wants to get a joint account. So she says, okay, let's see what we're working with. If I'm going to get access to the money. So he had $9,600 in checking, $15,000 in savings, but he wouldn't show her the offshore or the U.S. bank. And she got mad because she wanted to see the money. Wait a minute. He had all this money, but no nup? That's not a red flag. That's the end of the story. Where's the nup? The nup. If he got money like that, it's going to be nupped up, pre and post. These men do the most. So back in therapy, they're like, the pastors want to know why he won't show the wife the savings. He goes on a Denzel Washington monologue about how he earned that money through arena football and no woman was going to tell him. The pastor's telling them, look, y'all probably ain't going to make it a year. If you would come in for premarital, we never would have let this go down. Nah, but she would have gone down the aisle anyway and ignored your advice because she wanted to live in Sandy Springs or Alpharetta. Part 25. We are halfway through. Oh, my God. So, end of April, they're not looking for houses anymore, but she wants to look for another job. She said the reason I was getting the job was petty. I didn't want to depend on him for the car note. No, girl, that's smart. Because you depended on him for rent. You really be in a world of hurt if he up and left. So, because she applying for a job, she needs to put Legion Social on the background check. And he didn't want to come up off the soch. So he put a different social down than what was on the marriage license, and she runs a make on that. And she sees a whole bunch of different states, not the ones he told her he was from. He also at this time started to have a knee issue. So May of 2021, she calls San Diego State, down to the registrar. So San Diego State tell her, we don't know that girl. She confronts him. He said he was a private citizen, and his father paid money for his records to be sealed. Lord, now the stepdaughter done died from COVID. And can't he give the ex-wife $2,000 towards the fume? Part 27. So May 20th, she decides to do another background check. Ooh, she went to Fulton County Court documents to look for the ex-wife after she got some names from this background check. She said, name them. Now, she finds the ex-wife in the Atlanta metro area through Fulton County Court documents because, you know, they tell your business. So she finds out they divorced and were married in Georgia, not California. So she goes down to the courthouse to make a request for the records. Fulton County says, we want to make it as easy as possible to be messy. He said he was so poor he couldn't afford to pay the divorce fees. So her friend tells her to call the ex-wife, and part 28 she does.